Hi, friends and family. I'm just going to give you an update to news events surrounding coronavirus or COVID-19. The article for this video is from our Good Alternative magazine, the May 2020 edition. You can refer to it as a reference or a guide while watching this video. It appears that on this issue, Africa is leading both China and USA in solving the coronavirus pandemic. Madagascar developed traditional herbal remedy that cures coronavirus. African countries are now slowly queuing up to acquire it. The list of African countries who have received Madagascar's cure for coronavirus are Comoros, Guinea-Bissau, Equatorial Guinea, Congo, Liberia, Niger, Tanzania, and Nigeria. This list is continually growing. The World Health Organization, WHO, initially said that Madagascar did not follow protocol during the development of the herbal remedy and have refused to approve it. Some commentators think the real reason why it was rejected is because it was not made in the Western world. The question is, does it work? All evidence indicates that it does work. It appears that African countries are ignoring the opinions of the World Health Organization WHO and are acquiring the herbal remedy. Madagascar president is now building a huge factory to manufacture the herbal remedy in mass. Later, the World Health Organization WHO changed its mind and decided to approve Madagascar's herbal remedy for coronavirus. Now, this goes to show what we can do as Africans when we come together and speak with one voice. We cannot be ignored when we come together and speak with one voice. We are a giant and a superpower when we do this. Senegal developed a testing kit for coronavirus which cost only $1. Even though it was funded by UK, but the scientists and the researchers are Senegalese. Many other African countries are quietly using their own native traditional herbal remedies to cure people of coronavirus. Some other African countries, such as Nigeria, have also invented their own coronavirus testing kits, protective equipment, and ventilators that will cost a small fraction to those on sale in the Western world and Asia. African nations can now buy these things from other African countries at an affordable price. Cuba is said to have developed a vaccine for coronavirus years ago, which was used effectively in Wuhan, China, where coronavirus started. Cuban doctors are also using the same medication in Spain and Italy. Some commentators are asking why Nigeria, the supposedly giant of Africa, appear quiet in regard to helping to find a cure for coronavirus. The question is, will Africans have the confidence on inventions made and produced by a fellow African? Commentators say that the answer to this question will have to be yes from now on, as there is little or no better choice. Investigators in Nigeria said that $10 million bribe was paid to the House of Representatives by Bill Gates Foundation to pass the law quickly so that people can be forcefully vaccinated, even though no vaccine currently exists for coronavirus. Neutral observers are wondering why the Speaker of Nigeria's House of Representatives has still got his job. Observers think that Bill Gates must have a vaccine hidden away somewhere, waiting for most countries to pass the law to forcefully vaccinate the masses, and the motive behind all this is said to be money. Huge amount of money from vaccination at the expense of the lives of so many people. This may well be a crime, as some commentators pointed out. Huge crowd of protesters in America came out in the streets calling for the arrest of Bill Gates and all other people and politicians who collaborated with him to kill so many people just to make money from vaccination. The list of names is quite long, including Nancy Pelosi, Xi Jinping, the Chinese president, and so on. Some countries, for example, UK, Denmark, Nigeria, and so on, are trying to quickly introduce the law that will make the vaccination mandatory for everyone. But it is quite clear that the public is having none of it. And they are calling for those who are promoting mandatory vaccination to be arrested and imprisoned for human rights infringements. Coronavirus is making Africans think inwardly. For example, many African commentators and leaders, such as John Magufuli of Tanzania and Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana, are now calling for Africa to develop their own vaccine, their own agricultural production, and their own manufacturing and production industries. Furthermore, African leaders and commentators are recommending that African countries should patronize their own products and remedies that are working, such as the one developed by Madagascar, and reject the vaccine, especially the vaccine being promoted by Bill Gates and company. Many African countries are now turning their backs on China, and many say that China will not get a second chance in Africa. Also, there is unconfirmed report that world leaders are in discussion to strip China of its sovereignty. China is being sued by many countries, for example, USA, Europe, and Australia, for causing coronavirus. Nigerian lawyers are also suing China for $200 billion for its racist and evil treatment of Nigerians, Africans, and black people in China. World leaders insist that China must pay for causing and trying to hide the information about coronavirus in Wuhan, where it started. All this indicates that African way of life and doing things is gradually gaining more exposure worldwide, and this is likely to continue until it supersedes the Western world and Asia. The areas gaining more exposure include African healthcare and traditional herbal remedies, agricultural production, manufacturing and industrial productions, and so on. This is the trend, and we need the right leader or leaders to direct this trend. In my humble opinion, I don't think we are quite there yet in regard to having the right leader or leaders. But information reaching me indicates that a new nation, which will be called Biafra, will be declared soon from Nigeria. Now, sources say that the leaders of this new nation will make it a great and successful nation in terms of creating good economy, good industrial base, good agricultural base, good rule of law, and transparency. By extension, this should also bring up Africa as a whole, as Africans tend to emulate and copy each other. Now, I care not who lead this coming nation, but I care about the principles that govern the nation and the beliefs of the leaders of this coming nation. If this be the case, I will tell you now that we in Good Alternative and the diaspora in partnership with Pan-African movement, will join together and actively support this common new nation to make it a successful nation, so that African people will no longer see the need to travel to Europe, Asia, or America in search of jobs and greener pasture, as many of them lose their lives or become slaves in the process. I am sure most of you will agree with me that we have waited a long time for this to happen. Far too long, in my opinion. My word is my bond, and I am very serious about this. As the former colonial masters, UK, the United Kingdom created Nigeria and made it what it is today, a mess. Therefore, we reserve the right to lobby the UK members of Parliament and to march to the Parliamentary House, the House of Commons in London, at the right time. My knowledge and personal experience show that Igbos have the talents, the ability, and know-how to become a successful nation and to lift Africa up as well. Let's make no mistake about this. It is not about favoring one tribe over another. If we see that a tribe of people have the ability to improve themselves and Africa as a whole, then we should be under obligation to make sure that such tribe will have whatever they need to do what they do best, and not to suppress or marginalize such tribe for all our sakes. Evidence appears to indicate that this is the case in regard to the Igbos in Nigeria. So let's change this situation. We must change this situation so that we can all move forward. Now, in my next video, I hope to have a small list of undertakings which I want the leaders of the common new nation to check through. You can call it an open letter if you like. If we get positive response via comment, email, and so on, then we, in Good Alternative and the diaspora, in partnership with Pan-African movement, will be galvanized, and we will actively support and work to make this common new nation a success for every one of us. So, if you have any idea of what these undertakings should be, then go ahead and leave a comment. For example, you may think the common new nation can help Africa better by helping to set up agricultural and industrial productions all over the African continent. Another example is the new nation can have up to standard hospitals where Africans can go for treatment when required, including African leaders. So there will be no need to travel outside the continent to get treatment. Let's have your views and leave a comment. Okay, my people, that's it for this video on coronavirus update. I want to thank all our Good Alternative members, especially those who send articles and contribute to debates and discussions. I will give you updates to coronavirus as I get them. If you like this video, then subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. If you haven't yet requested for your free copy of our monthly magazine, Good Alternative, then go ahead and do so immediately, and I will send it to you via email or WhatsApp or Messenger. Just let me know which one you prefer. Okay, as always, look after yourself and stay safe. I will speak to you again soon, and bye for now.